Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be continuing the previous example or the previous bound service creation which we are creating. So once everything is done, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to switch to this main activity.java and we need to import this my local binder which we have created in this my service.java. So in order to import that, first we copy the package name which is this com.example.application.boundser. So in your case the package name might be different, so make sure that you copy the package name, and inside the main activity.java you need to import the my local binder. So we go here and we type in import, then we have the package name which is this, then we give a dot operator, then we type my service, then we type in the method which we want to import, then we type my local binder. And once you have the my local binder imported, you could use this in your code. So now one more thing which you need to do is that you need to clean up your code. So we go ahead and delete this toolbar, and we also delete this extra comments so as to get a clear view of our code. So make sure that you delete it. And now the next thing which you need to do is that you need to create the object of the my service. So we go inside this main activity, we go right here, and then we create the object of my service. So we type my service and let's name this as my service. And once we have this, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to create a variable which is called as isBound, and the isBound variable is going to be of the type boolean. So it is going to have two values. It is either going to be false or it is going to be true. So the isBound variable is used in order to keep track of whether the current client is bound to the service or not. So we type boolean is bound, and as initially the client is not going to be bounded by the service, so we make it as false. So once this is done, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to create a service connection. So in order to create a service connection, we go right below here and we exit out of each and every method, and we type in private service connection, and we name this connection as, let's say, my connection, and we type it equal to new service connection. So as soon as we type it, it is going to create two methods within it. So the first method is going to be the on service connected, and the next method is going to be the on service disconnected. Now once we have these two methods, make sure that you have a semicolon here. Now as you could see, we have imported the local binder over here, which is my local binder. So you need to create an object of the my local binder, and we are going to create the object whenever the service is connected. So in order to do that, we go inside this on service connected, and this is basically going to have the code which is going to get executed when the service is connected. So inside it we type my local binder, and let's say we name the binder as binder. So we type binder equals, and we typecast it to my local binder service. So once we have this binder with us, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to get the service from the binder and store it into the my service. So we type my service equals binder, which we have just created, and the get service is the method which is used to get the service. So we type get service, and the result is going to be stored in the my service. Now once the service is connected, as we have created a variable here which is called as the isBound. So when the service is connected, we need to make it true. So we go right here and then we type isBound equals true, and this is the method which is going to execute the code when the service is disconnected. So in here we type isBound equals false, so as to get an idea if the service is connected or not. So now once everything is done, the next thing which we do is that we go into this on create right here, and then we need to create an intent which we used to create in each and every service. So we type intent, name it as I equals new intent. To this we pass the first parameter as this, the next parameter as the class name, which is in this case my service. So we type my service dot class. Then instead of starting the intent or executing the intent, then as this is going to be a bound service, so we type bind service, which is used to bind the service, and to this we need to pass the intent. Then we need to pass my connection, and then finally we type in context dot bind underscore auto underscore create. So this is the basic parameter which you need to pass in while you create a bound service. So now once this is done, we are pretty much done with setting up the bound service. So now once everything is done, the next thing which we need to do is that as we want to make this button perform some action, we simply go on to this button, and inside the on click of this button, which you'll find under here, which you'll find under the properties, we will add a method to this. So the method which we are going to perform while the button gets clicked is going to be the show time method. So we type show time. So whenever the button is clicked, we want to make this text display the current time. So once you added the method to your button, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to go into this main activity.java file, and we need to define the function which we have declared here. So the on click over here has the method which is called as show time. So we create the method show time right over here. So in order to create the show time method, we type in public void show time, and to this we pass in a view. Now inside this, as we want to display the current time, we go ahead and create a string which is used to store the current time. So we type string current time equals my service dot get current time. Now once we have the current time with us, the next thing which we do is that we get the reference of the text view. So we type text view my text equals, then we typecast it to text view, then we type find view by id, and then r dot id dot the id of our text, which is my text. Now once we have this reference to our text, the next thing which we need to do is that we need to set the text and change it to the current time. So we type the name of our text, which is my text, then we use the method dot set text. So we type dot set text and set the time equal to current time. So now once this is done, we are done with the code. So we simply save the code and execute it on the emulator. So as you could see, our application is up and running, and when we click this button right here, it is going to extract the time for us. So basically what is happening is that when we click the button right here, the method which we have created right now is going to get executed, and in that method, which is in the main activity, which is the show time method, it gets called, and inside this method we have a method which is going to invoke the my service. So when the my service is going to get executed, what is happening is that the application is getting connected with the service, and that was the main motive or the main intention behind this tutorial. So basically we were to create a bound service, and a bound service is a service which connects with your main activity. So basically when the service is connected, which is present right here, which is the get current time, which is calling the method which is called as the get current time, and this function right here is going to return us the value of time in this format right here. So if we click the button once again, it is going to show us the new time, and again the same thing is happening. When we click this button, a method is getting called, and that method is invoking the service, and the service is again going to calculate the time for us, and it is going to return the time to the main activity. So that's how you create a bound service in an Android application. So I hope you guys understood how we have created a bound service and what is the difference between a normal service and a bound service. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.